morning, LaShonti, my beautiful daughter. How are you doing today? Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. This was a This was a journey that I have experienced with my mom. Up until the point that my mom told me last night that we were coming here today to do a podcast. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. The audio, thank you for tuning in, watching us on our YouTube channel podcast show. All up, shout outs to our amazing producers. We have GMP Podcast Group, and we got Thorn City Syndicate. See, I don't play. Like, this is me and my mom are me and my mom. But with these two amazing productions that we have behind us, not behind us, but with us, y'all don't even know. Like, it's been a journey. It's been a while that we've been in the studio. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And when we came here today, our producers, we're so happy for their journeys that they have been on. We see how creativity is. So we're happy to be here to share. I didn't put on much makeup today because actually I didn't put on none other than a little lipstick because my mom, she talked to me last night and told me what topic she wanted to talk about today. And so I already knew that I was going to be doing a whole bunch of crying, and I ain't got time to be, you know what I mean? I knew I was going to be doing a whole bunch of crying, whole bunch of, you know what I mean? I got my fan. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to us. What is the little girl supposed to do? I am the co-host to this podcast show that I share with my mommy, my mother, my mama, my mom. Drum roll. I'm going to tell you all the things that we've experienced, but this is my mother, my beautiful Queen Bee, Miss BalindaOliveBeltran.
Good afternoon, my family, friends, and people that are supporting our podcast. It's been a while that we've come on, and it was due to there was the emergency with my health. And I would like to share that information today with how important it is to do the right thing. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and really, truly believe in God, because it is God's time with us now. And we need to do our best as human beings to help each other and be a role model, especially the elderly, the older generation. We need to set an example for the younger generation. It's so important because we're looking at us, seeing what we're doing. And if we out here half-stepping, that means they ain't going to be doing no stepping. Okay? So we need to do our best to be good people, be a good example, and to love. That is what's so important.
Absolutely. Now, when you say half-stepping, what does that mean?
That means you is not putting your foot all the way down to the ground, and you is not doing what you're supposed to do. Because if you half-stepping, that means you ain't doing it all. You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Wow. Anybody that's doing something halfway from you ain't being yourself. You ain't being true to your true self. Okay. You're not living up to the purpose that God has given us. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a gift because God made us in his image. Okay? So if you are living in the image of God, you're doing your best.
You're doing your best. You're doing your man, no me. You're doing your best. You're doing your best. Yes, yeah. So, and when you say that, I mean, we went through. Not we went through. You went through. So the last time we came on the podcast, last time we did our podcast, I want to say what you want to share, openly because, because the last time we was here, we experienced a lot. Yeah. And that's why today I didn't put on no makeup because I was already going to go ahead.
All right. And so what has happened, I am still in recovery. I know I look pretty good right now, but my body is not totally healed 100%, but I'm continually doing what God has put me here for. Our assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Our assignment is to help heal other people.
Yeah.
What is the little girl supposed to do? We know that a lot of people have been traumatized, women, men, children. So we're here. That is our assignment, to make sure that we get our message out, because our message will help others.
Yeah.
And so it began this past summer. I started having pain in my stomach. It was just light pain. It was just irritating pain. And this went on for like a few months, actually. Went on for like a few months. And then to the point of, on October the 31st, 2024, my body had gotten hot. But in the meantime, my stomach had got big. It looked like I had a basketball. I kept showing my daughter. I said, dang, feel my stomach. I said, it feel like a basketball is in here. And my daughter was looking at me. She said, oh, you okay, Mom? And I said, not really. So she took my temperature. This was on October 31st, 2024. And the temperature came back as it was 103.2. So that meant it's time to go to the ER. I live in Vancouver, and my daughter drove me to Legacy Salmon Creek. And they saw me that night. It was an emergency situation. They ended up taking a CT scan of my stomach. And what did they find? They found a massive 31-pound tumor in my abdomen. They was trying to figure out, how was I still functioning? Was I able to breathe, walk? And they said, this is the emergency situation, but right now we do not have a bed for you. This was on a Sunday. And they said, we will assign you an ObGyn and even oncologist, because we don't know this tumor that's inside your abdomen, if it's cancer or what, we do not know. And so they sent me home, but on the 5th of November, they sent me over to Good Samaritan Hospital in Portland, Oregon. And when I was arriving there, I ended up calling my Aunt Sarah. She used to work at the hospital. She retired. She's worked there for over 34 years. And I told her I was at the hospital, and she asked me, she said, Balinda, what room are you in? I said, I'm in room 678. And she said, what? She said, that's the floor that I worked on. That's the room that I prepared people for their surgeries. I was in that room. I said, this is a nice room, Aunt Sarah. And she said, yes, it is. And she said, I've been praying for you, Balinda. She said, I know you've been telling me how you were feeling. She said, I've been praying for you, and I have my prayer partners. We have been praying for you also. She said, you're going to be all right. I said, okay, Aunt Sarah. And so that was on the 5th. I went in on the 6th for another scan, and they found that I had a lot of water and fluid around my lungs and in my heart, by my heart. And they ended up taking out 2.1, was that millimeters? Liters. 2.1 liters of fluid. They drained it out of my back. And I was like, whoa, that was very painful. But then the next day I was scheduled for my surgery. My daughter, LaShonti, she was with me every step of the way. If I didn't have my daughter, I don't think I would have survived, because that experience was like a near-death experience. My daughter was there, but yeah, it was a sad situation. But on the 7th, they scheduled me for my surgery at 9:00 in the morning, and my daughter was there. I was taken to the room, and I just remember they ended up sedating me. They gave me, not chemotherapy, but they gave me, they put me to sleep. They put me to sleep, and it was just so painful. They had to give me like an epidural in my back. They gave me they gave me that, and so my surgery. My daughter told me before they wheeled me to the room. What did I tell you? That I said, God said I'm gonna be all right. Can you speak on that for a minute?
When they wheeled you to the room?
Yes. When they wheeled me to the room, and I told you that God said I was gonna be all right.
Oh, yeah. You just said that God had told you that everything was going to be okay. And your surgery, you were gone from the room, I want to say, because I waited in the room until your surgery was over. But I want to say surgery was probably like 8-9 hours.
Oh, the surgery was?
I think so, because from the time that you went in and from the time that you got out, it had been like 8-9 hours.
Because it was close to 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
So that's what, almost 12.
Okay, so 12 hours.
Yeah, half a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when I woke up, barely, my daughter was saying, Mom, she said, you said, God said, you're going to be all right. And I just opened my eyes barely, and I wasn't really awake. I went back to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my family, my daughter was there, my brother was there, my nephew was there, because that was a life or death situation. I just felt like I was in a dark place, and I did not know what was going on with my body. And so once I woke up, I think it was the next day when I woke up, my daughter, she spent the night with me at the hospital. And just let me know what your experience was when I was having my surgery. What were you thinking when I was in the room with having my surgery and recovering? What were your thoughts? Because I don't know what was going on. I was out of it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, well, the medication had you out of it. And so until it had been, I don't know. Yeah. It was a tough situation for me. So I can't craft and say what it is that I experienced. But seeing my mother in that type of situation, and there was no plan. There wasn't a plan. There was there was one moment where your stomach is flat, like it is. And there's another moment where your stomach is, and us as women, we don't necessarily want to say, dang, girl, you know what I mean? You've gained some weight. And so when I touched your stomach, I touched your stomach, checked your temperature was high. We went to the urgency care clinic. From there, they said, can you get to Good Sam Hospital? So I have not been able to grab a hold of what I experienced. It's been traumatic for me. Am I blessed that you are here? Absolutely. And I don't want to be selfish because a lot of parents are not. So I'm grateful that you are here for us to share that you are here. Everything happens. I don't want to say everything happens for a reason, but seeing you in that situation where they then say that my mother has a 31-pound tumor and my mother has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer and she has a 31-pound tumor in her stomach and she has 2 liters of fluid on her lungs. That was an instant yeah. That was an instant. And so, I mean, when we dealing with doctors and we dealing with, and so everything, I mean, for us to go to the hospital and now I remember the anesthesiologist and I said, so you're the one that's about to be putting the medicine. You the one that's about to be putting this medicine up on my mom that's going to be having my mom go to sleep while she's having the surgery. And he said, yeah. And I said, so you're one of the most important people. And he was like, but I'm not the surgeon. And I said, do you hear what I just said? You're putting this medication in my mom that's going to be allowing my mom to sleep. So depending on how much you give her and how much you stay focused on my mom, you're an important person. The doctor, the surgeons are too.
Yes.
But you were giving my mom medication that she's about to fall asleep. And no, surgery wasn't something that you or I prepared for, not me, but you. I mean, as your daughter, that wasn't something I had prepared for, that my mom is now, they're telling me that my mom has a 31-pound cancer tumor that's inside of her stomach. That now needs to be decided that she needs to have emergency surgery. Yeah. And so they give you the medicine and you're there and you're, okay, so surgery was 12 hours. Yeah. That was 12 hours of me, your family, the people that love you are now. I mean, it was during that time, if you are paying attention to all the symbols and all of the messages and all that stuff that people are given, there's a reason why people they experience such close calls for something. And if the person makes it out of there, to be able to hug on them and to love on them and to be able to open up my life for people to, it was an experience that I saw a lot of people that love you and appreciate you. And when a good friend of ours called the hospital and, people was scattering around. So, yes, you are my blessing for sure. You are my blessing. And during that time, I had to be not selfish, with you. And I had to be not like guarding of you to the point that I was like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was, life is life. And, I'm appreciative of you. Yeah. And, ain't no woman like the one I got. Ain't no woman like the one I got. Yeah. Hey, and her daughter is like 10 toes in it, though. I was riding, you know what I mean? I was riding for my mom. I slept in the hospital. And there are times that when I had to, because I was mentally going through it. So We are here. And like I said, I'm happy for my mom, but that 31-pound tumor that was inside of my mom, they did diagnose it. It was cancerous. It was cancerous. And once they removed the fluid from my mom's lungs and they removed the tumor, the cancerous tumor that was inside of my mom's stomach, they said that they removed all of the cancer that was inside of my mom.
But it burst when they was trying to take it out. We were told that it burst when they were taking it out. And so what happened was they took more lab work before I left the hospital. And because I was going to have to follow up with the oncologist to find out if they really did get all the cancer out of my system. Because they were talking about chemotherapy for 3 months or so. And so I scheduled an appointment. My appointment was December the 18th. My appointment was December the 18th. And when I went to the doctor for my follow-up, my daughter was there with me. And the doctor said, I have good news. And I'm like holding my hands, like praying that this is going to be some great news. And she said, Balinda, we got it all. You don't have cancer. And that was a relief because, well, that was a nightmare. I mean, what I went through in the hospital, and during that time, 2 other family members was having health problems. 2 other family members was having health problems, and both of them was major. One was my cousin. Him and his wife was in, where were they? Thailand. They were in Thailand on vacation. And my cousin, it was a male, and him and his wife was there. He ended up getting an infection in his toe while he was over there. And then on top of that, he was diagnosed with, he was a diabetic. So now the toe was infected and gangrene set in. And so it was a long ordeal before he was able to be flown back to the United States. They went through quite a bit of hell. The family was concerned about it because they didn't know if they was going to have to cut his foot off, his toe off, or, it was a tough situation. But the bottom line is he was able to fly back home, see his own doctor, and get the treatment that he needed. And he's doing so much better now, but he ended up having major surgery on his foot and everything, but he is doing a lot better. And then when my daughter came to visit me, I asked her about my Aunt Sarah. That was my mother's last sister, last family member. I asked her, because me and my Aunt Sarah, we talked. I said, I haven't talked to my Aunt Sarah. And Shonti said, Mom, she said, I'm going to lie to you. She said, but Aunt Sarah is in the hospital. She had a stroke. And I was like, what? My auntie? I said, because we talked every day. And while I was in the hospital after my surgery, I didn't want to sleep in the bed that was in the hospital. So I ended up sleeping in the chair because I felt that my mother, I lost her in 2012. Or we lost her in 2012. I felt that my mother was in the room being my guardian angel, her and my auntie. They were in the room with me, and my mom would always come to me when I was laying in the chair there. She said, Balinda, how are you doing? I said, Mom, I don't feel good, and I can't hardly talk. And she said, Balinda, Everything is going to be all right. Her and my Aunt Sarah, they were there in the room protecting me. And so it was just, yeah, it was a dark place. I was having weird dreams about not being able to get out of the hospital past that wall that was in front of me. I just like, how am I going to get out of here? This wall is in my way. But then, yeah, it was bad. It was bad because I got sick quite often. I was getting nauseated because I really wasn't able to eat, and then taking all this medicine was just making me so sick. And I was telling them, hey, I can't continue taking this medicine. I'm just sick. And they were like, well, you have to swallow the pills. I'm like, I just can't keep doing this. I say, please tell the doctor, let me have it in an IV or something, because trying to swallow these pills is almost impossible. It's making me nauseated. And so my daughter had to witness all this, where it was horrible. But I survived. I survived. I ended up celebrating my birthday at the hospital. My daughter and the grandchildren, they were able to decorate my room for me. And so when the nurses would come in, they were just like, this is so peaceful. She said, that is, your family really loved you. They decorated the room, and people was just so kind to me. And they helped me heal. And one lady that came in, well, sorry, let me back up. My daughter brought my rock to me. I painted a rock in 2024, and it had a lot of beautiful sayings on it. But the main one was, vote for God in 2024. Love and peace. It was a pretty big sized rock.
Right.
Jesus said, it was just,
Jeez.
tell them what happened.
It was a big old rock. And right now they are heavy on security at the hospital. Heavy on security at the hospital. So when I was coming through to visit my mother, I had a bunch of stuff, and then I had this big old rock, and then the security officers was like, so what are you doing with this? And I said, oh, and I said, well, my mom's in the hospital, she's, coming out of surgery. And I said, she's a painter of rocks. And I said, this is one of the rocks that she painted. And I said, and to be honest with you, I think it would be awesome if she was to wake up and to see this rock. And I said, I understand. Trust me, it's not a weapon. And I said, she's painted it. It was only, and then, and then he touched it. They touched it, and they, complimented it when they said, okay, in that case, you can, take it back to her room. Then I said, okay.
Yes. And so the rock was beautiful. And I got a visit from the chaplain at the hospital. She came in the room because my daughter had displayed it right on the table there that they had. And they caught the chaplain's eye. Her name was Sarah. Same name as my auntie. And so Sarah liked that rock. And I asked her, I said, Sarah, what if I give this rock to you? Would you accept it? She said, I would love that. I said, you would? And she said, yes. I said, okay, before I leave the hospital, I'm going to give this rock to you. And she was just so amazed. She loved what it said. And I don't know where she's displaying it, but it's at the hospital. I'm going to give her a call to let her know I've been thinking about her and find out how she's doing. But she's going to be amazed that I got out the hospital and now I'm cancer-free. I'm still healing, but God wants us to share the love and the healing that other people, you got to realize there is a God. God made us in his image and in his likeness. And he wants us to be the best people that there is. Because in 2025, the truth must be told. That's all I can say. The truth must be told. Everything is being manifested, and people need to choose which way they're going to go. Either you're going to do right or get left. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Do right or get left. You got to make one choice. You can't be straddling the fence. And so back to my auntie. It was just sad. My aunt was at OHSU. We went to visit her on November the 26th. My brother gave me, my daughter, a ride to OHSU. I had to still be in a wheelchair because I wasn't able to walk, but I was determined to see my auntie. And she knew that we were there. She held on to our hands so tight, and then tears started rolling out of her eyes. She had had a stroke, but she was alert and awake when we went to go visit her. We stayed there for like three hours visiting her, loving on her. The pastor called and was praying for her. And her grandson great-grandson was spending the night with his grandmother. He was not going to leave her at that hospital unattended alone. So he stayed. We visited her. And that night, around 9:00 p.m., November the 26th, my daughter received a text message from her granddaughter. She texted and said, my auntie had passed away. She passed away at 9 p.m. And the doctor was so amazed at my aunt. They unplugged her, all the tubes and everything. They unplugged her, and for 9 days, she did not eat or drink anything. And they were trying to figure out, this is unusual. My aunt was 83 years old. They had never seen someone live that long without eating or drinking. And so my cousins was like, she was waiting on someone. She was waiting on someone, but the day that she passed away, my cousin texted me and said, Balinda, Grandma was waiting to see you. She asked for you. She wanted to see you. And so that was very, very touching. Because me and my aunt, we would be on the phone for hours every day. We had great conversations. And I can still hear her in my mind and my heart. Because my life feels like out of sync because we talked for the last 12 years on the phone every day. We talked about some great things. And she loved her family. And she wanted the best for all of us. And so this has been hard. She was the last one out of 13 children. My grandparents had 13 children. My auntie was the last one to pass. So this has been a challenge, just getting adjusted to, with all this going on, it was just tough. And I'm so thankful to be here today to share this testimony for others, to let them know how important it is to have your relationship with the Almighty God. To have your relationship with God because, preparing, we know that things are coming down the pipeline in our world and things are happening so fast. And we know that they're telling us we need an emergency kit. Okay? So, but that doesn't take priority. emergency kit, because what if your house is destroyed, flooded out? You can't take this emergency kit anywhere. So how are you going to survive? So the only way that you is going to be able to survive this, you got to have a personal relationship with God. Because God told me a long time ago, there's nowhere to run. People trying to run and hide. But God said there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. It's between you and I. That's the bottom line. So if you ain't got yourself right with God, that may be something that you really want to think about, and you want to do that right away. You need to repent, atone for the things that has been done. We can't change tomorrow, that's for sure. But you can apologize and be a better person. Take one day at a time. We cannot change what happened before, but you can change what's going on today, and hopefully you're here tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So you do what you can today and try to make this world a better place to be, because it is so important for us to know how to love each other and treat each other the way we want to be treated. Remember, we have not arrived at being 100% human being until we want for one another what we want for ourselves. And so I'm going to turn this over to my daughter so she can give you her thoughts and what needs to be done for the people that's still in this world. Because if we're still here in 2025, there's a reason for you to be here, okay? There's a reason for you to be here. But if you don't live out what God wants you to do, bye-bye.
Wait a minute. Okay, so she gonna hand me the microphone. She gonna hand me the microphone on that? Okay, so by my mom saying that, there was a lot of stuff that she said. There was a lot of stuff that she said. And so that's why we have to be mindful we should be nice at all times. Be good to people at all times. I'm sure a lot of us children have been taught that you don't want to burn the bridge that you might one day need to cross back over.
Yeah.
I don't know about some of us, but hey, if you have not been taught that, I'm here to say, you don't want to do wrong to others, because when you do wrong to others, those others that you have done wrong to, trust me, you're gonna need them. And depending on how their heart is filled, I don't know if they'll let you back over that bridge. So, for you not to get there, do right, be nice, share, you know what I mean? Share your food, be nice. And just know that there are so many of us that are out here that are for goodness, and we don't want we want everybody to love each other and get along. But then we're also going to be realistic. Be nice. Do nice to others, because we all know too, you have to reap what you sow when you don't. So I know that I've had a lot of karma that I've had to deal with. And I know that one blessing for myself is my mother was in the hospital, and my mother was in the hospital for 13 days.
15.
Sorry. 15 days my mom was in the hospital. So that means for 15 days, LaShonti Turner was in hibernation. Okay? And a lot of people called, but listen, I wasn't answering the phone. I was not answering the phone because LaShonti, I don't handle a lot of things mentally for myself. I had to stay focused for my mom. I had to stop, look, and listen for the messages. So now that my mom is healthy, now that my mom is good, she's been teasing a lot of us with these cookies. We've been dropping cookies off to people's houses. Yeah, the cookies. Yes, the cookies, the bumblebee cookies. She got oatmeal raisins. She has peanut butter. She has chocolate chip. She has the chocolate chip bars. She be baking. Okay. And so I be eating it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. She be baking. I be eating it. So we got a good thing going on right now. So I'm very appreciative of her. I'm very appreciative of you, Mother. And I know that I will I'm like that. And I know that she keeps me she keeps me a little tamed, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to be here to share this moment with her. It's beautiful today. Y'all don't know nothing about this Pacific Northwest weather, but the sun is out. Ain't the sun out right now? The sun is out. The sun is out.
Oh, it is?
It's not, it's not raining.
No, it's not raining.
Not raining, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So we want to thank you for tuning in to our podcast. We will be here more often than what we have been because 2024 opened the door to so many things that came unexpectedly for us. We've lost a lot of people.
Oh.
We lost a lot. So we need to do our best. Love each other.
Yes.
Because the best things in life is free. It don't cost. It don't cost to smile. It don't cost to let somebody else in the door, open the door for them.
It don't cost?
It don't cost to do that. The best things in life is free. It don't cost you nothing.
Dang, you so cute. I would love it that you smile.
To love.
You so cute. Oh, look at your cheese. You so cute. Mom, you're so cute.
Thank you.
You're so pretty.
I have to blame that on my mom and daddy.
There was some good old love around that time because you are an absolute blessing.
Yeah. So I love it. I love it. So that's the only thing we're asking is for everyone to love, have peace in their life,
right,
and harmony.
You put a lot of love in your cookies.
No more negativity because the only thing negativity do for you is bring you down.
Wait, down?
Yeah, bring you down. Yeah, you need some positive things in your life to bring you up.
Right.
Because if you ain't ready for the new earth that we are approaching,
wow,
you're going to be left.
Left?
You're going to be left behind.
No way.
It ain't going to be no place for you on the new earth. Ain't going to be no place for negativity.
Really?
The sun is going to be out. And we're going to have a beautiful life on this planet because all the negativity is going to be zero.
Wow.
That's the plan. God showed me this a long time ago. Long time ago. And we are getting ready to wrap this up.
Okay.
The whole world
Wrap it
on its way out.
Okay. I'm ready.
Get ready for the new earth.
I'm ready for it.
The love that we can share with each other. The peace, the harmony. Because all this stuff that you done accumulated,
right,
the material stuff, I mean, you will kill somebody over some of this material stuff that you done accumulated.
Right.
So something that's dead, you mean to tell me you're going to kill somebody over some stuff? So we need to rethink what is really important to us in this life and how to survive and to do the right thing by each other. Showing your love. Love is the most important thing.
Oh.
Love is the most important thing.
Then how do you feel now that you've experienced what you've experienced? How do you feel now?
I feel blessed.
Okay.
To be in the Northwest and to be alive in 2025. Because we got things to do. Because
was that on purpose?
Huh?
Was that on purpose right now? Because that wasn't on purpose what I say. You just rhymed. Just rhymed. Oh, but Yeah, that's part of you being a poet.
I'm a poet, and I know.
You just rock. You said 2025, stay alive. Is that what you said?
I probably
It sounded something like that.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because God wants us
Mhm.
to be the best.
Okay.
us. That's all He asking for.
That's it.
He just wants you to be your best you.
Okay.
And so we don't have time for all this stupidity. People walking around like zombies, acting as if they don't know what they're doing out here in this wild wilderness. Seriously.
Wow. It is a wild wilderness out there.
Yeah.
And maybe it's safe to be a zombie.
It's safe?
I mean, yeah, if you act like you don't know what's going on. Maybe some of them might just be acting like they're zombies.
But yeah, you don't really know what the activity is going to be.
No, you don't.
You don't know if you're going to get jumped or beat up or, I mean, you really don't know.
No, you
what's on the mind.
Yeah.
So we need to come together as one and love each other. Community is unity. And so I really miss how it was when I was growing up. I mean, we had so much love in our community. Everybody watched out for each other. You know, if your children is acting up, they have permission to whoop their butt. And then when they tell their parents, they're going to get another whooping.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Hey, that's not about my community because everybody know. Hey, everybody know what LaShonti kids. Everybody know about LaShonti's kids. Hey, don't put your hands on my kids. Don't whoop them. Don't do none of that. Don't whoop my kids. They do something, you talk to me about that. Don't. Yeah, I didn't feel the whole community can whoop kids. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I even felt some type of way when you told me that back in the day, they used to spank your child.
Yeah.
When they were born.
Oh, yeah. They used to turn them up, had their feet, and whap their butt.
Oh, that right there just gave me a whole panic attack. Oh, Mom, I'm so happy that they changed things because
that's what they used to do. But they were doing that to help clear out their lungs and stuff.
You don't need to be doing that to be helping clear out their lungs. It isn't. Yeah, you don't need to be doing that to clear out their. I mean, if they talking or crying or doing whatever, that's because that's what they need to be doing at that time.
But that's why they turn them up by the feet and hit their butt.
That's abuse. Hanging somebody by their feet and spanking them, of course they're going to cry. Hello. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that my children, when they came out, they didn't, yeah, because I would have been, sorry, I would have been at Clark County.
Yes.
So yes, I'm happy, Mom. I'm happy to be here to experience this podcast show with you, to be able to share the story that I'm so thankful for my mother. I'm so thankful for her. And I want to send out condolences to all that have experienced loss of their mothers.
Yes. And fathers.
And their fathers too. Absolutely.
It's just, I don't get it. Why is all of the people just shooting and killing each other? This is what is supposed to happen. Our ancestors would be rolling over in their graves if they knew that we were out here acting a fool like this.
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to us. See, we could talk. We do this every day. We could do this every day. We do this every day. Thank you for tuning in to What is a Little Girl Supposed to Do? Thank you, GMP. Thank you, Thorn City Syndicate. Yeah. We're so happy to be home.
Thank you, Justin. We love you.
Happy to be
here. Yes.